Konnichiwa, minasan. Lori Sagawa here, and I'm the host of the Samurai Way podcast. So glad you decided to tune in and listen because I have the second part of Celine's journey about Kintsugi. And the first one, if you haven't listened to the first one, I kind of recommend you do that because she's going to now take us through the process of Kintsugi. And Céline Santini, is an internationally acclaimed speaker and author known for her work in emotional resilience and transformation. A graduate of ESCP Business School, she began her career in marketing and communication and then followed an unexpected and meaningful path from project management in the design and fragrance industries to first wedding planning agency. So she writing over 50 self-help books. Her journey is a continuous and deep search for meaning in life. And in 2017, she encountered the Japanese art of Kintsugi. She will be sharing about that. So I want to help you welcome Céline Santini to the stage. So welcome to the stage, Céline. So glad to have you with us.
Hi, Lori. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. I'm in France right now, and I love this international aspect that you are in the US and I'm in France, and we will talk about the Japanese art.
So, comment allez-vous aujourd'hui?
Je vais très bien, merci. Et vous?
I took a French in high school, and I do remember a few things, and I can say the alphabet very well. Which that alphabet, I just remembered that. So this episode is going to be about the actual process of Kintsugi and how it can relate to your life. So I'll let Céline begin with that because she knows far more than I do about Kintsugi and has written the book.
Yeah. Well, first I need to explain what is Kintsugi for people who have not watched the first episode. So Kintsugi, it's a Japanese art from the 15th century, and it consists of underlining the cracks of a broken object with a gold. So such as this example I'm showing for the people who just have the audio, I'm showing a bowl repaired with the Kintsugi technique. So you can see all the golden scars, beautiful flowing gold all over the bowl. And for me, Kintsugi is much more than an art. It's like art therapy. It's more like a metaphor for life. So when I saw my first Kintsugi bowl, I got instantly repaired just watching this bowl. So then I decided to train to do my own piece, to find my piece. And while I was doing this process, while I was learning how to do it, I discovered that the result was significant, but also each of the steps. And I identified 6 steps, and that actually became the plan of my book later. So it was the idea that you come from the moment you are broken to the moment you gather your pieces, you wait, you sand, you sublime, and then you make it shine. So these are 6 steps, which I said very quickly. But what would be interesting is to maybe detail each of them to see how they resonate with life.
Yes, please. That would be
sure. Okay, perfect. So the step number 1, we have this step in common when we are under the shock of a bad news. We are broken. It's like all the pieces of our own jigsaw puzzle are on the floor, scattered. And at that moment, you don't have any hope. You just had the shock of the news. So you don't have an hopeful future because you don't know what will happen next. But when you have the Kintsugi metaphor inside you as a projection, as a journey, then you can know that you don't know how long it will take, but you will find a solution. You will gather your pieces and shine. So so the first step is broken, and acknowledging that you are broken, and acknowledging that you deserve to put gold on your scars, even if you don't know how long it will take. So that's very empowering, because you could also decide to throw the broken object in the trash. No, you decide that it's worth it, that you are worth it.
Yes.
So that's a very empowering step. And that's the moment when you gather all the pieces and you decide to do the repair. So you move to step number 2, the gathering of the pieces and the assembling. So the assembling is done with a paste that is made with a mixture of lacquer, urushi lacquer, and rice flour. So you mix them together. It creates a kind of cement, a sabi. And then you can paste all the pieces. So at that time of the process, it's still work in progress. It's very rough. You can see all the sabi. It's not smooth at that time, but at least it's united. Even if it's imperfect, you feel whole again. So that's a very important step, because you, even if it's not very beautiful at that time, you have gathered all of your pieces. And sometimes it happens that the bowl is too broken, the shards are like dust, So what is wonderful with Kintsugi is that you always have a solution, because if you are missing a part, then you can recreate it and it will be beautiful. It will be in gold. Or you can even ask to borrow it from somewhere else. Like, for instance, in my book, I put a picture of a bowl, which is a composite from a traditional ancient bowl and turtle shell. So they recreated the missing part with turtle shell. And I love this metaphor for life, because it means that you always find a solution, even if it seems hopeless. And that's a metaphor for the help that you can ask. You can ask help, and maybe the turtle shell of someone else's bowl can be integrated in your own bowl. And maybe there's a part of you, of your own bowl, which is a part of the bowl of someone else, because you helped them. So I think it's very powerful to think this way. So this is the step number 2. Step number 3 is the step when you have to wait. And I say have because you don't have a choice. It's the same as if you are, for instance, you break your leg or your arm, you have a cast. If you take it off too soon, you have to start all the process. It's the same with Kintsugi. You have to wait for the repair to solidify, to harden, and you put it in a box which recreates the climate of Japan, which is very hot and moist and humid. You say, I don't remember if you say humid. Sorry. And you, so that's the ideal condition for the sabi to harden. And the metaphor for us is obviously to embrace the weight, embrace the power of now, embracing the fact that it's okay to wait and it's necessary. And it's a step which we have more and more difficulties to accept and to embrace, because nowadays we are not used to wait anymore for nothing. I'm 50. When I was a child in the 80s, we had to wait like 1 week for the next episode of the anime or the show. Now we can binge it in one night. It seems like funny things to say, but it's actually very metaphorical, because it means that we are not used to wait anymore. So Kintsugi leaves us no choice. So, and after all this weight, you take it off from the box and you go to the step 4, which is sanding. Sanding means you take sanding paper and sorry, sometimes I miss the English vocabulary. You have to scratch it to smooth it.
That's okay.
To sand it. until it's very smooth under your fingers. So obviously here the metaphor for life is the fact that you need to think about what you need to get rid of in your life, what you need to suppress, what is unnecessary in your life. So when you are in a Kintsugi workshop and you are sending it, and it's like very dynamic, you are actually sending your own unnecessary things. So that's very therapeutical. So step number 4. Step number 5 is the one when we finally put the gold. So that's the step I wanted to accomplish very much more quickly than what I just described. I wanted to do my Kintsugi bowl very in one afternoon, and that it's finished and that I can put it on my chimney. But no, it doesn't work this way. It takes a few weeks, a few months even. But so I was very impatient for this part, the moment when you put gold on your scars. Actually, speaking about the technique, that's often a misunderstanding. I really thought it would be melted gold put on the scars, but actually it's not. It would be a mess. So what they do is they use these lacquers that they know for centuries, which is this beautiful red lacquer that we've seen in Chinese or Japanese craft. And while it's still sticky, it's a bit like nail varnish, nail polish. It's a bit sticky when you put it. While it's still sticky, they sprinkle golden dust, and this golden dust merges into the lacquer, the red lacquer, and that's what is creating these beautiful golden lines, golden bands, an illusion of a golden flow. And so this moment is very symbolic because it's the moment when you actually watch your scars being illuminated and speaking about your journey, and it's a metaphor for the fact that you are actually stronger for having been broken, as we said in the first episode. There's this very famous quote from Nietzsche which says, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So that's really the core of Kintsugi. And I really thought that would be the final step, because now the gold is here. But actually, I was surprised. There's a secret 6th step, final step, which is the polishing part. Sorry, I need to take away my cat. So because I really thought, I thought it would be finished, but the fact that it's gold, even if it's dusted gold, gold in the form of dust, you can actually sand it and polish it and burnish it so that it sparkles even more. So you finalize your bowl by making it even more shiny and
More
polishing
beautiful.
it even more beautiful if it's possible. And that's an interesting metaphor for us, because at the moment when you actually are ready to show it to the world, and that's the moment of transmission, the fact that you are ready to share whatever happened to you, whatever you've been through, and you've been through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 steps, and maybe someone who has been suffering from the same ordeal is still at number 1 or 2 of the process, and they need hope. Also, they need a vision, and you are at step 6 with your golden sparkling bowl, and you can inspire them.
So that's what you're doing now.
Yes, actually that's my ikigai. Yeah.
That's so the iki, as I mentioned, the Japanese concepts and principles work together. They really do. Like in the Kodo Bushido, you can't be honest without being courageous, because it takes courage to do the right thing, or integrity. Sometimes those things are hard, but they're needed, and it takes courage to do what's necessary. Just the same with Kintsugi. You cannot go from 1 to number 3 or 1 to 4, or from 4 to 6. Each
Exactly.
step is there for a reason, and it takes time. And we develop resilience and character during those times of wait.
Yeah, sometimes it's frustrating to wait, as we said for the step number 3. Wait is a frustration, but that's how we, as you said, we strengthen our character.
Yes. And how would you say it's built your character? Can you share a bit about how this journey of Kintsugi has helped you in your own personal life?
I think, as I said in the first episode, people who love Kintsugi share in common the fact that they are a resilient person. So we actually, Kintsugi lovers are already strong, are already resistant. But sometimes when people are strong, they don't take care about themselves. People say to them, "Oh, you are so strong. You are so courageous. You are so lucky because you've been through everything. But it's like it's okay for you. But actually, it's not. It's not that it's more okay for a resilient person than for other people. It's that they deal it with more strength and maybe less care of themselves. So I think Kintsugi speaks about taking care of your own ball and taking the time to watch your scars and to acknowledge that you are resilient, but that you also need to get pampered and sanded and polished and burnished as everybody else.
Yeah, so everything's necessary, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think people who are into self-help, they often are givers, so people who are givers have in common also sometimes not to take care of the needs of others, but not their own. So yes, it's something you have to learn as well. So sometimes people who come to the workshops, they say first that they love it because they feel very, very pampered. I feel like in a cocoon because I take care of them with a lot of rituals and symbols, and I love the nice details. But also they say that they are offering themselves this experience, and that it's sometimes the first gift that they give to themselves for a long, very long time.
That's good. And then by having experienced that, they can help others.
Yeah, exactly. Step number 6, transmission.
So a person, once they've gone through all the steps with their own goal and with their own lives, they can help others. But you can't, it's harder to help others when you're at number 2 and or you're at number 3 and you want to help someone. If you haven't gone through that, it's hard to help somebody going through the initial stage, and vice versa with each stage. Each one's different, requires different abilities and patience, but it's all necessary.
Yeah, and there's also the time of infusion, like a tea which needs to infuse. You say infuse?
Yeah.
Yes. So there's the time when you understand the steps. I can understand mentally step number 3, patience, but it's only with experience and with a long process that I can really feel it. So it's coming from the mind to the heart, and then the soul and the action.
That's a beautiful way to put it. That's and I really appreciate this and you going through the different steps and how people can understand that you see this beautiful bowl or plate or whatever, and you see it's beautiful. Well, it took some time and it took some planning and it took a lot of, especially if they go through something like with you, it's not just being mechanical about it. It's about examining your own life. And so that's
exactly
a beautiful way to put it together. So thank you so much for sharing, Céline. I think
thank you, Laurie.
Yes, it'll be very helpful. And excited if, when and if you start, which I think you probably will, you're a writer, do your second book or sequels or ebooks or whatever. I think people will be very much helped learning from someone that has already gone through it. So, is there anything else as we wrap up, if you could share one golden nugget or a few golden nuggets to people so that they can start on their own kintsugi journey if they're
Well, yeah, I always encourage people for who it resonates. Uh, when you finish your podcast, just type Kintsugi on the internet and first start by watching some bowls. That's the first step, and that's already very powerful, as I experienced the first time. And even now I've seen so many kintsugi bowls, but each time I see a new bowl, I feel it again, like with a new look. So first start like that, and then after I encourage you to if you can to own a kintsugi piece, and you can have different journeys. You can either, if you are not very manual and you don't want to do the process, you can ask a kintsugi master to do it for you with a meaningful object for you. But you can also and I encourage you more to do that, go to a workshop and do it yourself. And there are some traditional workshops with the ancient traditional kintsugi method, which is a very long process, as we explained, but that's, if you can invest on that, that's very interesting. And of course, the other step would be to do more of the symbolic workshops, as the one I offer, more into self-help and the metaphor. And that's another way of processing things. But there's not one which is best. It's the one that resonates more with you. But if you are interested by this metaphor, yes, go deeper and investigate, and in a way or another, contact the energy of kintsugi.
Oh, thank you so much, Céline. This has been so educational, so helpful. And like I mentioned, I love podcasting. I love sharing with people about the Japanese principles and how they can influence. They're not just some old principles. There was a purpose behind it, and they have stood the test of time because they are still around Kaizen, Ikigai, Gambaru, Kotobushiro, and what do they say? Good morals never go out of style. Good ethics, good principles never go out of style. And as you're seeing and listening and hearing on the Samurai Way podcast, they don't. They don't. And we're going to keep it alive so it can help other people. And that's what the Samurai Way is about. It's about exploring these ancient principles and applying it, not just getting head knowledge, but actually applying it to your life. And as you had Céline share with you about the different processes and how those work together, then you can see that, it's not just a beautiful bowl that was put together. It took time, it took patience, just like with ourselves. We need to give ourselves that time, and whether you do kintsugi or some other way, but to take that journey, take that leap of faith in yourself, because you are worth it, and things can happen on the other side. Just like with me, with the accident, who would have thought? I mean, if someone told me, 10 years ago, before the book was, you'll be writing a book, and I think, oh yes, right. Or you're going to be 5 years ago, you're going to have a podcast. Oh yeah, right. But it happened. And it happened with intention and this desire to share this with other people to help them in their lives. So thank you, Céline, you're part of that. And and all the other people that have been on the episodes have already poured into people's lives and making this world a better place. And that's my goal, is for these principles, bring them to life, and maybe something can help you. And I know something can, you just have to search for it. So with that, I want to thank each one of you people for listening. And also, as you listen, please be sure to take some notes or do the research. We provide good resources for you with each episode applicable to that one. So with that, I would like to say thank you. Please listen, like, subscribe, and share, because that helps us spread the word. So for right now, I will say thank you so much. Domo arigatou gozaimasu, and au revoir, and
Au
matane.
revoir. Merci à
Au revoir.
tous. Au revoir. Thank you so
Au
much.
revoir. You're welcome. I have enjoyed it. So thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next episode.